it's Kirsten Liebelt. Welcome in. It's Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and so I thought we would do something a little fun today. So jump on in. I would love to know if you guys have like a minute today, right? Hold on, I'm trying to fix something on Instagram. It's like all crooked and I don't like that. Okay, so good to see you. I thought today that what I would do is I would jump on and I would do something different than we normally do. So come on in, grab your coffee. I've got my water. Here we go. I've got my aminos going. So today what I wanted to do was I thought, okay, for Thanksgiving, I am going to make mini, I think she called them, I'll get you the recipe. Am I good? I think my husband's going to check. Terry says, good morning. She's cooking and listening too. Hi, Sue. Good morning, Patty. Sweet lady. Good to see you. Okay, very, very good. Everybody's coming in. Okay, so for Thanksgiving, what I wanted to do was it's All Day I Dream About Food, and it's her blog, and the recipe are keto, white chocolate, peppermint, cheesecake things. Like we're going to make them in little individual serving sizes. And so I wanted to do that with you guys today. Okay, my husband says my sound sounds good. That's awesome because I haven't been able to use my microphone for a while. So we're testing things, making sure that they work. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do today. If you're on the replay, let me know you're in on the replay. Every day we go live Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday or I'm out of town, at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're brand new to this whole universe, this is what we do. We talk about insulin resistance. And I just come by it very, very honestly, meaning that my dad died of type 2 diabetes when he was 63, and I was raised in an Italian family that was really taught how to just love food. And so having high insulin in the body is really like messing up our ability to lose fat and like enjoy our life in those terms. Because after a while, it's not just high insulin. After a while, it's high sugars. And that causes like this waterfall of issues, right? So my dad had it all. He did all the heart surgeries and the pacemakers and the emergency this and the emergency that. And he ended up with dialysis for the last 2 years of his life on his kidneys. And then he was gone at 63. I was 30. So what's that? Okay, never mind. Okay, so hi, Barb from Ontario. Good to see you. Shirley girl, good to see you. You like what you're hearing, Peggy? Okay, well, this is going to be fun. So I was asking my daughter the other day, I'm like, so what should I make for Thanksgiving? My assignment for Thanksgiving, it's going to be at my sister's. My assignment every single Thanksgiving, and it has been for all of eternity past, is I make loaded mashed potatoes. Of all people, I'm the one making the loaded mashed potatoes. But I do it, and I usually do about 10 pounds of potatoes. I will use red potatoes, and I make them, and I put lots of really good stuff in them. Yada, yada, yada. They're kind of like garlic Parmesan cheese potatoes are really what they are. Good morning, Geraldine. Good to see you. And this time my sister said, okay, then add to that like a keto dessert to bring with you and some sugar-free whipped topping for, a dessert. So I asked my daughter, I'm like, what should I bring? And she's like, well, I don't know, Mom, but maybe you should do something peppermint because I love peppermint. My son loves peppermint. But it's not an common thing. But yet it's something that kind of gets overlooked in our family because the majority seems to rule, right? I'm like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And who doesn't love cheesecake, patty, loaded potatoes? I know it's so naughty, but this is the deal, you guys. Have a little bit of mindset around your universe, okay? I never, ever, ever, I'm just telling you the truth. Like, people are like, oh, you can't sustain, a restricted lifestyle. Well, you can while you're turning things around. You can while you're fixing things. And you don't have to think this way forever, all the time. And you don't have to be afraid of food. This is not my religion. I'm not going to be religious about everything. I want to move forward. I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. I have kept it off now for years. And I want to keep moving forward, right? So if I have a day that like I'm testing my potatoes, like whatever, I don't fear potatoes. They're just like not something that I choose to eat pretty much ever. But if I'm going to make them for my family, it's just like when I make meatballs, right? Like for Christmas. But anyway, so let's get into this. I'm going to dive into this so that you guys can find out what this is like. I'm trying a new ingredient today. This is very interesting. You're going to want to stick around just for the ingredient. And don't forget also, I'm going to grab it out of my refrigerator and I'll keep talking. I've got my thing on and Instagram, you'll hear me, but I'm going to grab this ingredient. If you have not ordered yet for November on the Buy, Repeat, Earn program for the customer campaign, you might want to consider not missing out by the end of November. I know that it's easy with the holidays. It's so easy. And if you're in a streak where when you purchase $150 or more 3 months in a row to get your $75 off, if you're on that streak right now, just remember the end of the month is Sunday. So I just want people to know that. I do try to send out texts to y'all and get you kind of like, set up so that you do know. And you guys thank me for it because they're like, thank you. You're so good to us. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to forget. And then on the other side of the coin, if you've never ever tried like the total body reset with me, and I can talk about that later, we're going to do cheesecake first. But if you've never tried the total body reset, this is the best month to start, in my opinion. I mean, maybe I'll say that again next month, but when you do the 3 months at $150 each month in January, instead of just $75, they're going to add an additional $50. So you'll get $125 off your order. Like, this is a little crazy pants time to be able to really put yourself first so that you can feel good going into the new year. So we're going to do cheesecake. This is the ingredient that I'm going to try today that is completely different. This is called pumpkin seed meal. You can use almond flour. You do not have to use this, okay? But I am trying to do, first of all, she had this as an option. Her recipe calls for this. And I'm like, well, that's super interesting. I didn't know this existed. Did anybody else know this existed? Is this just me? This might just be me. Good morning, Marilyn. You're busy making stuffing muffins. What a great idea. So individual servings of stuffing. That is a terrific idea. I love that. Very, very good. So she had this and I thought, this is great because almonds are really high in oxalates. And remember when we did our, it was like a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, we did a live on oxalates and how that can contribute to kidney stones, etc. So this would be, pumpkin seeds would be very low oxalate. They're actually really good for you too. They have really good nutrition in them. But anyway, so we're going to work with this and let's see what we got going. Everybody tell me what you guys have. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Well, I kind of put stuff together here. I would love to know, like, are you hosting? Are you going somewhere? This is the recipe. It might be backwards for you guys. I'm going to show it to you anyway. All day I dream about food. Take a screenshot and then flip it in your camera if it's backwards. Just take a screenshot, flip it in your camera if it's backwards. All day I dream about food. Keto white chocolate peppermint cheesecake. Doesn't that sound divine? Here you go. For everybody here, take a screenshot. If it's backwards, flip it, flip it. Okay. There we go. So basically, we're going to make a little bit of a crust. These are going to be no bake. Okay. Very good news. No bake. They're going to be super easy. I don't even think you bake the crust. Let me check that out. Recipe. Jump to the bottom. And this is what they look like when they're done. Now, I don't have the candies. I'm not putting the candies on top. I did look for them. I went to Walmart in their sugar-free aisle. And I did look, but it didn't matter to me. Okay, so we're going to whisk together the pumpkin seed meal, the cocoa powder, the sweetener, and the salt. We're going to stir in some melted butter until it's well combined and the mixture begins to clump together. We're not going to have to bake that. We're going to divide that into the muffin cups, and then we're going to just press firmly into the bottom. And then we're going to do like the white chocolate. I love white chocolate. I don't know if anybody else does. We're going to do the white chocolate in coconut oil. We're going to stir that. And then in my bowl here, we're going to do cream cheese, sweetener. We're going to add a little bit of heavy cream, peppermint extract, and then we're going to at the very end add the melted white chocolate. And this is going to be divine. Now I'm doubling the recipe right now. And then I might make another. Yep, refrigerate 1 to 2 hours until firm. I might make another round, like tonight. We'll see. we're only like 15 people. So and there will be many other things. So hi, Kathy. Good to see you. Very good to see you. You're hosting. All of your girls and your son-in-law are coming over. Wow, that's awesome. You're hosting the kids and a couple of the grandkids. Terry says, wonderful. We cannot see it. You're holding it over too far. Oh, what was that? Carlene, show me. Was I holding it over? Oh, that's because it was Instagram and then I showed you guys. Okay, got it. You didn't know that existed, Anna. Me neither. Me neither. Crazy. Like, my daughter's like, Mom, go on Instagram or go on Amazon. I'm like, sure enough, there we go. So here we are. I'm trying something new right before your very eyes. This is how I do things. So again, I'm doubling the recipe. So it calls for a half a cup of this meal. Doesn't really have much of a smell to it, just so that you know. I'm going to use 1 full cup. Here we go. Calls for 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. And it does say that when you open this up, this pumpkin seed meal, that you should then put it in the refrigerator. So this will go back in the fridge, okay? 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. I will do 2. I should have this over here so you can see some of this. Okay. I just went ahead and I bought the Great Value baking cocoa, and I did it because I've never done that before. And I remember I told you I love the Great Value brand of the unsweetened chocolate bar in the baking aisle. It's a chocolate liqueur. So I thought, well, I'll try this. And you know what? It smells pretty decent. Not going to lie. Sometimes these generic brands, right? They are actually made by some of the name brands. So I just took a chance. Smells pretty good. So there we go. So 2 tablespoons because I'm doubling. And you can find this on her website by yourself. It's All Day I Dream About Food. Peppermint white chocolate. Keto peppermint white chocolate cheesecake bites basically are what they're going to be. 1 tablespoon of powdered sweetener. So I'm using Swerve. This is a erythritol base, and you could use an allulose powdered too. And if all you have is granulated, grab your coffee grinder and just put it in there and and you're good to go. You don't ever have to worry about, just make things up. Just make things up. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of powdered sweetener, just like this. And then a pinch of salt, although I probably don't need, where did I put my salt? Hold on, I got to grab my salt. Oh, here it is. I probably don't need, I'm going to turn on my microwave too. I probably don't need that much salt because I am using salted butter, but I will use a little bit. Anytime that you use salt in a dessert recipe, basically what you're doing is you are enhancing the flavor of whatever you're making. So here is my mixture so far. And then I'm going to add salted butter into the recipe, or melted butter. I just kind of made a mess. Here we go. Melted butter, yum, yum, yum. Here we go. I think I'll use a fork. All right, so how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Very good. I'm super interested to see what this tastes like as an alternative to almond flour. Let's get some melted butter in here. What's not to love about that? And basically it said get it all crumbly. I just know everybody's busy in the kitchen today. I figured that's what we do. We just take a day and we start making stuff. But in the middle of my day, I'm going to go get my color done and my cut done. I'm going to go get my hair done because I'm not hosting. So I can do that, right? I've got more time because I'm not hosting. There we go. So this is just getting super crumbly, as you can imagine. And again, I don't feel like that pumpkin seed meal Has no smell to it. It's just basically the, I'm only smelling the cocoa. Okay. Am I making noise on here? I apologize if I'm making a lot of noise on my microphone. And I'm actually going to taste it and see. Because normally I would use almond flour. Absolutely no weirdness. That's amazing. That really is amazing. That makes me happy. So the white chocolate I'm going to use is going to be Lily's white chocolate. And you can get this. This is a baking bar. Their actual candy bars are maybe only like about this big. Like if you're in the candy aisle section, you could find a salted caramel bar or a hazelnut bar or a dark chocolate bar or something like that. They're sweetened with stevia. And this is in the baking aisle, Walmart. So if it's at Walmart, it's probably at your local grocery store as well. So it's large. It's 4 ounces in size. One recipe calls for 3 ounces. So I can make 6 ounces, or I can double this recipe and use all of this for this one recipe. Okay. And basically then all we're doing is we're dividing this. Now this is interesting because I'm like, how much do you put in each one? I don't think, can you see a little bit? Maybe a little bit you can. I won't do all of these, but I do want to just see how this, in general, how this feels for pressing this out. Okay, yeah, because it's buttery, it's basically just going to make its own little crust. But it's interesting because I'm like, I guess because you'll put the cheesecake in there, I guess it'll just come off. My thought is, is that really going to all come off at one time when I pull them out of here? And I don't know the answer to that. So we'll find that out together. All right. But while I'm doing that, or while that's kind of like just sitting there for a second, I'm going to grab my cream cheese. And this is where it gets kind of fun. So we'll take the cream cheese and we'll start whipping it with, I believe the recipe is going to say, and this is softened. I've been letting this sit out for a little bit. Julie, good to see you, Julie. Are you going to get your hairs did too today? I love that. I know it's a good day to get your hair done. I need to get my hair cut. It's way too long. I need to get it cut. I'm super boring and like I'm streamlined and I don't change up much anytime because I don't want to learn how to style something new. But I am playing with an idea. Like I'm thinking, like it would be nice to have, I don't know. I look at things on Pinterest and I wonder, but everybody on Pinterest that has a hairstyle that I like, they usually have a super long neck and then it looks good on them or anyway. So we'll see. We'll see what I show up with. You'll find out. The color will stay the same. Carolyn, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you. This is taking way too long to open this. Hold on. Where's my scissors? For some reason, it's like they sealed it as though, it needed to be childproof. See if I can get that started. There we go. Now we're talking. I think it'll slide right out. There we go. All right. There's my cheese, my cream cheese. I'm still thinking back onto the conversation. She said she's doing individual muffin cups for her stuffing. I'm thinking that's a brilliant idea. Happy Thanksgiving, Shirley. Really good to see you. Have a really beautiful time with your family, your friends. Enjoy. Jan, good morning. Looks yummy. You'll try this weekend, but not tomorrow. That's awesome, Jan. Susan, have a wonderful day. Happy Thanksgiving. Getting your nails done today, Patty. Good job. It feels good to get all freshened up for the holidays, doesn't it? Like it's really fun. Let's see here. Let me see if I can open this one. Yep, everybody's got all the things that they need to get done today. Everybody is busy. We got snow in Minnesota. That was exciting. We got snow. Looked a little bit like a winter wonderland this morning when we woke up. I have never had such a hard time opening up cream cheese in my entire life. I am not sure. And this is a Philadelphia. I'm like, what did y'all do to your packaging there, Philadelphia? I don't even know. This is very bizarre. I've always been able to just pull it apart. It's because I'm online. So it's the rule of whatever that I would have to make up the name. You know, like when you go live, things won't work normally. All right, hold on. Let me throw that away. Get a little bit of paper towel. Okay, so let's just see here what we got going in our recipe. I really love peppermint. I would love to know, am I kind of like alone in the whole peppermint game? So basically they're going to tell you about the crust, which we just did. Now we're doing the cheesecake filling, and then they're going to tell you about how to garnish it with whipping cream and how to make natural homemade whipping cream. I will show you what I'm going to use instead. I'm not going to whip up my own this time. But I am going to take 3 ounces of, remember I'm doubled, okay? So I'm taking 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. I already put that in here. I grabbed my coconut oil from Walmart. It's organic Nutiva. Okay, it's organic Nutiva. And 2 teaspoons of that. And then basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my white chocolate, and I might just spread this out. I wonder if I'm going to have to do another batch later today. Let's see here. All right. So I'm just going to put these in here. And you could do this with a double boiler if you want to. Or I'm just doing mine right in the microwave. So I say do what works for you. And the coconut oil will just make it so that, so that it like is very glossy, very smooth for pouring into the cream cheese mixture, okay? And into here, we're also going to add, with the cream cheese, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. I'm using the Swerve. And remember that the white chocolate is also sweetened. This one is sweetened with stevia. It's starting to get soft. You can sort of see with the oil, the coconut oil in there. You see that? So I'm just kind of getting that going here. This coconut oil, just to let you know, this one is all-purpose cooking oil, coconut oil. It's organic. I'm trying to remember. So this is organic refined expeller pressed coconut oil. This does not have a coconut taste. This one doesn't. So there's no coconut taste. If you get, and I wish that I could tell you for sure, I'm trying to remember if it's unrefined. There are coconut oils that are very coconutty. So you have to just know. But this is a beautiful oil for doing something like this, kind of that candy-esque. So let me stick that back in there. It's almost done, not quite. Do that. Then into we did the powdered allulose. We're going to do a couple of tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. So let's do that. And I'm doubling, so we're going to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of peppermint extract, which is basically 1 tablespoon for doubling, because there are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So, I just love peppermint. So here we go. There we go. And we're going to start whipping this. That smells divine. It smells divine. Can I show the coconut oil? I sure can. I sure can. And again, there are many kinds, and I'm not even saying this is the right kind. I'm just saying that this one doesn't smell like coconut. So here's the Nutiva. And I just got it at Walmart. Kathy, good to see you. She's laughing at me. I know, right? I know. The minute you go live, you just got to go with the flow, baby. Your family loves those muffins because everybody loves the crunchy top. That is hysterical. And what is that just not the truth? Like, we want the inside of the cake, or we want or how they sell the brownie, crusts. People like the crunchy part of the crust of a brownie, let's say. Good morning, Phyllis. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, Phyllis. Good to see you. Okay, so here's my coconut oil or my white chocolate. And as you can see, because of the coconut oil, basically what it's doing is it is nice and smooth because of that, right? It's like more liquidy. You would never add water to anything like this, because that would then turn into clumps of just clay. So you have to use an oil, right? And so that's what we're doing. But this will also then make the inside. Think about it now. Coconut oil is solid at room temperature, okay? So when you add a little bit of coconut oil into your cheesecake mixture with that white chocolate, that means that it's going to set up your cheesecake, right? Like, that's how you can think about things like that. Anyway, so I'm going to just slowly add this. I think I want let me grab my Christmas here. I'll grab my snowman one since it snowed. My snowman thingamajig. I love my KitchenAid. I don't know what y'all have. My mother gave me this. She used this for years and years in our family. And now here I am. So I'm just going to start adding this into the cheesecake part, or the cream cheese part. Oh, that's going to make it so smooth, you guys. I can see how creamy and smooth this is. This is very impressive. Can you tell I'm a sweet tooth person? Can you tell? If you remember my story, I hope you can hear me. If you remember my story, when I first started to trade out foods, I remember like asking myself the question, like, if I'm at a potluck in the basement of our church, and this is like for real in my brain, remember, I said, what would I eat first? And my answer was like the 7-layer bar. And I just have always loved treats. And my mother always made such amazing candies. And so for me, making something like this, that's a white chocolate. And I love that it's portion controlled, right? I love that you can do something like this and still get very excited about having a treat. You don't have to have half a pie. You don't have to have, whatever. And even in mindset, when we're talking about like tomorrow in general, it's like, you know what? I did not start and then I was perfect that first year. Remember, I wasn't perfect. I allowed myself the journey. And now, don't get me wrong, I had to get better. I had to find a way to get better and better and better. I feel like I'm going to wash my hands one more time here. Hold on. Oopsie. There we go. Why not wash multiple times while you're working on stuff? I just all of a sudden I'm like, I touched my hair. I don't like that. So I don't want to have unclean hands. So anyway, but I basically took a couple of years to really try to dial it in. So tomorrow it's like, don't have a lot of shame, but be smart. Be smart. So some of the smartness would be something like this. Go in there and either eat something ahead of time, like I have my grass-fed whey protein. I can drink a protein shake before I even leave the house so that I don't go there and I'm totally starving. That would be like tip number 1. Tip number 2 would be something like, when you do sit down to eat, get protein in you first, just straight protein. Eat the turkey, eat the ham, eat the beef brisket, that's what my sister's doing. Eat the food that is the straight protein first and get that in your tummy, right? And get that as like a foundation, as a layer to what you're doing, so that you're never putting just straight sugar right into an empty stomach, because that's when you're really going to spike, right? So let's try to slow down the spike. Then when it does come to doing something that's maybe off plan, and that could either be the stuffing or the sweet treat, the pecan pie, they're both going to spike your sugars quite a bit, right? But challenge yourself just a tiny bit, right? No shame, but challenge yourself just a tiny bit. What if I only have a bite of something? What if I only have a couple bites of something? What if you know what I'm saying? Like just allow yourself to enjoy the moment without total jumping off the cliff, and just kind of see how that even feels inside of your body. And this is where the assessment comes in. I always talk to you guys about the gift of assessment and how this is one of the best gifts that you can give yourself. And when I say inside of your body, I actually don't mean physically. I mean like emotionally. Like, does something trigger you because you feel like you just restricted yourself? Does something bother you because you feel like people are, being food pushers, or they're paying way too close attention to what you're eating or not eating or whatever? You get to drive your own bus and you get to create your own day. And some of you, like me, I will have my keto dessert with me, so I'm not going to care as much, right? But let's just say somebody brings something that is like the most magical dessert of the entire universe. I don't know what that would be, but let's just pretend it was. And I don't have a problem with taking a bite of a dessert that's not keto. You know what? You need to actually enjoy your life. And I'm not going to teach you that it's all about balance all year long. I actually don't believe that. When you're trying to turn something around, when you're trying to fix something, it's not really about balance, but it is about trading out the ingredients to the foods that you already love. If you're trying to turn back your insulin resistance, it's a different conversation than somebody who is not insulin resistant and they're just trying to get, they're just like, I've just been eating too much late night. My portions have been a little out of control. That's a completely different conversation. We're having a conversation for somebody who is insulin resistant. You're trying to stop the spiking of your sugars so you can stop calling on insulin. Thanksgiving is a day. It's not a week, and it's not an entire weekend. Okay, so it's a day. And if there's something that you want to have a treat with, maybe you eat half of what you would normally eat, something like that, and then do it on top of protein. Okay, those are some of my better tips. And if you are somebody who has already picked up, like you grabbed the carb blocker, you ordered that, like when you were ordering either your Total Body Reset or whatever, that is a great tool. If you don't have the carb blocker, that might be something that you think you want with you when you go to an event, like a social event this Christmas season. I don't really stock it anymore for myself. But that's one thing that you could do, is have carb blocker on you, and then you can take 3 of them and then, at least mitigate the spike of the sugar. The other thing that you could do is, if you already have the Total Body Reset, the glucose product, take 2 of those while you eat. Anytime you go, not with every bite, but instead of 1 of those capsules 3 times a day, do 2 of those capsules 3 times a day, and get those trace minerals to help tamp down your sugars and your insulin both, because it will do both. Okay. So that's another thing. So, okay, here we are. While I was talking, I just put in all of my little bases. Okay. And the base was made out of this pumpkin seed meal. Oopsie. Almost tipped you right over there. This pumpkin seed meal and cocoa, and I'm trying to remember all that we put in there. Sweetener, powdered sweetener, cocoa, salt, pumpkin seed meal. We're doing that as opposed to almond flour. So that's what we're doing with that, okay? Now, I'm going to take this amazingness. Oh, let me just tell you, this is my love language right here. OMG. This is going to be good. So here we go. I have my little spatula. And if you could see, and I'm going to show you, this is so creamy whip. This is very whippy whip. And the reason why it's so whippy whip is because of that white chocolate with the coconut oil. See how whippy whip that is? It's amazing. Can you tell? The lighting is weird over there. Super, super whip. Doesn't that just look phenomenal? Oh my stars. This year, you're making more keto recipes than not. Last year, you allowed yourself a bite of each of your non-keto favorites. Sue says, nibble, yummy. Thank you. You're welcome, Joan. Good to see you. And you know what, Terry, you're such a good student for yourself. I get so excited about that, because when I was doing this all by myself, nobody was telling me any of this stuff, right? So nobody was saying, do it this way, do it this way. It was a natural rhythm that I found myself in as I was just being kind to myself and not having any shame. So that's why I absolutely love sharing it with you. And then I love hearing somebody like Terry that went, this is how I'm doing my journey too. Like that last year, I did a little bit of bite of each of the ones that I normally like to eat. This year, I went a little more keto in my offerings, and pretty soon you don't even think so much about it, right? And you don't even assess it that way anymore. In my opinion, it's kind of like after a while, you don't even go home and think to yourself, oh, I did have a bite of that Italian cookie. You did or you didn't, and you're not shaming yourself for it. You're not in that mode anymore. And that's the goal that I want people to get to, is to where you are. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like so much better than I thought. This is so whippy amazingness. Oh my stars. And then of course you'd let it sit in the refrigerator to set up. Oh, this is so good. So good. Anyway, and so I want you to just recognize that, this year is not the be all end all. Okay. If God forbid, and you will not perish, but if you were to perish in the middle of halfway through, 2026, and you didn't have a chance to up your game one more time for another holiday season, you're not going to have cared, right? So you do what you can do, and then find the things that you can be the most proud of yourself for. Nobody else even has to know. They don't even have to know what you're proud of for yourself. You go to bed tomorrow night and you tell yourself, girl, you won the day. And maybe you only won the day in your head because you ate a half a piece of pie instead of a whole piece of pie. You take your win and you snuggle in for the night and you say, look at you. Look at you. You're making strides. I am so proud of you. You tell yourself, don't require that from anybody else in your life because they're struggling with their own stuff. So don't worry about what they think or don't think, or you be proud of you. It's so important. And you have to pat yourself on the back and you have to talk to yourself like that. And it's very, very important that you're the voice that you will hear the most of every single day. It's you. You're the voice. It's not somebody else's voice. Okay. All right. This is like so amazing. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm going to show you here in just a second the whipping cream that I'm going to bring with me tomorrow. I already purchased it. I'm not going to make my own. This is one of those things that is not perfect ingredients, but it's a very good little, like, well, let's just say that you really want to, you need a little snack, you need a little treat or something. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? Maybe a little bit you can. Make it that way. Because maybe you are a sweet tooth. This is a good one just to grab. And it's an instantaneous, it gives you like instant gratification. So let me show that to you. And here we go. So this will literally just go into the refrigerator. Get set up. And then tomorrow I'll bring the whipped cream and I'll do that. I have some left over. I feel like I'm probably going to make an extra 6 of these. I think I'm going to do one more batch, so then I'll have 18 of these. So this was a double batch. I'll make one more. One more block of cream cheese. All right, here, I'll show you what I'm doing. Perfect. Perfection. Here we go. That's what they look like. Oh, Jackie, you're so wonderful. So Jackie says, I'm thankful for you, Kirsten, for taking this journey ahead of all of us. You have so much gratitude, Jackie. Thank you for this season of life. I am making cauliflower mashed potatoes. Yay! For me to go with my turkey. Cheesecake is one of my specialties. It looks so good. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Jackie. You're amazing. You are amazing. I appreciate you so much. You know what? Gratitude is the wind in your sails for all of life. If you want to go far, if you want to get anywhere in life, if you want to be successful in any way, shape, or form, you have to live in deep, deep gratitude every single day. All right, so these are going to go in the refrigerator. I am going to grab you my whipping cream. So hold on just a second. This is the whipping cream that I buy at the store. This is Ready Whip. It's 0 sugar, okay? It's not perfect ingredients. I don't care. That's not my goal. Not bad though. Not as bad as it could have been. If you go to the store and you go to the refrigerator section and you grab a sugar-free Cool Whip, and then you go to the other refrigerator section where the almond milk is, where the whipped cream is, you know what I mean? And you look at this one and you show these side by side, completely different. The sugar-free Cool Whip is trash. If I'm not mistaken, I would have to look it up because it's been a while. I think it has seed oils in it. Plus it has just really icky sweetener ingredients. This one is cream, water, non-fat milk, and then, carrageenan, sucralose, propellant, whatever. So it's not the most perfect thing in the world, but like it actually does have some real food in there. Like who knew, right? So this, in my opinion, is a very, very good way I'm going to be able to like take these over there and I'm going to be able to go on each single one and set them out, and they're just going to be amazing for people, right? So there you go. All right, so did I miss anything else? I feel like we're good. You guys, that was such a really fun little, did I miss that? Will I post this? Julie says, yeah, I'll post it up in my stories. How does that sound? I'll put her recipe right up into my stories, and you guys can go there. I love that she's the one, Carolyn Ketchum is her name, and she's the one that lost her husband like maybe 60 days ago. So I would love it if you would be clicking around on her website and helping her in that, so she can get, you know, paid for her life. I'm not sure how her website is set up. Mine's not set up the same way, but hers is a blog, and it gets, I think she gets paid for traffic. I don't really completely know, but I would love it if you would go to her direct website. So I'll post these in my stories with her website that you can click on. And there you go. And I can smell the peppermint, and I'm so happy. And I hope you guys have the best Thanksgiving ever on the face of the planet. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends. Remember, you're on a journey. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Don't be mean girl to yourself, and just enjoy what you get for the day that God gives you the day. Be thankful that you're given another day to be with your family and your friends. And we'll stay on track. And don't forget that December 8th is the 5-day challenge in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, Monday through Friday. If you want to get your total body reset now so that it is shipped to you and in your hands before that happens, this is a great time to do that. Those are the 6 pieces of the supplementation that will help you with your journey to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. It's literally these 6 products that we talk about every single day. It's the trio, the probiotic, the fat burner, and the gut primer. And this is how you can holiday completely differently. Less bloat, lose weight, target visceral fat, do all of the things, and tamp down that insulin, tamp it down so that you can actually burn fat. You could have a completely different result during the holidays and get money back. Goodbye, Marilyn. You have such a good day. Let's see. Thank you for the recipe of the cheesecake and how it looks. Thank you for the coaching encouragement. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, every single one of you. All right. If you need anything else, just let me know. All right. Have a good day, you guys. See you later. Bye, Luana. Bye, you guys.